Fam, happy Thursday to you all. Okay, FOMC came out yesterday. We did have a rate cut. Market started to push up. Nice little trap in play. I want to speak about the trap and the next entries within the markets. But most importantly on today's show is I just want to recap my entire strategy for the rest of 2025, as well as what I think can happen in 2026 Q1 and Q2. There's going to be an opportunity to sell out the long-term bags on altcoins. And that all comes down to pre-preparation of when you're going to do so. When markets are red, it's very important to set your targets on when you're getting out now, because when things start to go up again, remember, we have not had the bull's response from the last couple of weeks of redness, right? But when that happens, you are going to start changing your thoughts. You're going to start thinking bigger. And this is the perfect time to build a full strategy of how to capitalize the next move to the upside, because the next move is very likely to lock in Bitcoin's high as well as altcoins high and possibly go into a 12-month bear cycle after that. So I do see an opportunity of money to be made over the next couple of months, but it's very important to have a game plan and a structure. So in the show, I'm going to show you all of the different parts of what am I doing, right? What parts of my portfolio am I doing, and when am I going to look to exit these parts? So guys, happy Thursday to you all. Hope you're all having a great day. Keep soldiering through. Market is nice and depressing, may we call it, but just keep pushing through. This soon shall pass. No wasting time. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗏. Welcome to Sheldon's show.
Banter fam, brand channel, hit the subscribe button, like it up. Okay, guys, so I want to go through a little bit of high time frame views. Before I do so, remember, very good specials at the moment with exchanges. Below in the description, we have a 𝗬𝗏𝗡𝗥 link, one of my most favorite exchanges. And you can see just by signing up, you get a bunch of free money. So if you're looking for a good exchange, okay, and some extra cash in a bear cycle, right, you can see you can get up to $100 just opening up your accounts. Right, if you deposit $100 and hold it for more than 3 days, you get another $50. Right, if you deposit $500, hold it for more than 3 days, you get $80, and $1,000 more than 3 days, you get a $100 bonus. Right, this will also get you into our free schools, okay, and many products that we offer just by using the link. So big shout out to 𝗬𝗏𝗡𝗥 below, as well as Pionex, guys. For me, bots. I'm going to be speaking about bots in the show. Bots for me is a way to automate your trading, right? To take your actual structures and planning and put it into something that does it for you, right? You will learn that on 3 clicks of a button, you can open up your own bots. They don't even have to be leveraged, right? You don't even have to leverage these bots, but these things can handle emotions. So if you're struggling with emotions right now, but you believe the market's in good areas, you can open up bots with no leverage right now that can trade the range and survive the volatility so that you don't make yourself go crazy within this time. Use the tools around you. Pionex bot, links below in the description. Now, let's jump through my plan. For me, I have not ever exited my altcoin portfolio since I started in crypto in 2020, 2021, right? I've never exited. And to be honest, it's been one of my biggest mistakes in crypto, right? Is I've just held things for way too long, right? You got 2 different approaches here. I would say an investment approach is looking up anywhere of 10 years. If it's 10 years, what I've been doing is fine, right? But ultimately, what I'm looking for is to financially free myself and my family, okay? And this space still has a lot of evolving to do. So if you look at the last cycle, we had a way more aggressive altcoin run. Does not mean that's not going to happen yet, but it hasn't happened just yet, right? And that really made me thinking, why am I holding 200 coins in my altcoin portfolio, right? Yes, they're good and stuff like that, but nonetheless, money just ain't going to them, right? And that was a big thing for me as well to learn when it comes to investing. Really choose the blue chips and look at a way longer term approach. Okay, but I'm getting to that stage now where it's time to start cashing out portfolio. Now, the rule is we do not sell on red, and specifically multiple weeks of red, right? I always get out in green. And I'm just letting you guys know that I will be getting out up to 80% of my altcoins on this next push to the upside. I still think there is one more rally to go, and I do think it's the altcoin rally, right? But it's important to know that this holding type of game as well, specifically tons of altcoins, is a very tricky strategy unless you have a very high time frame approach. So when I finally exit, I think I will be adjusting my strategy slightly, right? And I think I'll be taking a way more of a Bitcoin approach, where majority of my long-term will be into Bitcoin. And this is next. Right now, I'm not in that situation. I'm sitting with hundreds of altcoins, right? But ultimately, use these phases to start upgrading yourself. And I'm starting to upgrade to say, you know what, in the future, maybe 3 coins max will be my long-term. The rest, I'm going to trade in certain different ways, long-term trading, short-term trading, mid-term trading, right? But I'm getting out and keeping profits, right? I had incredible 𝗬𝗵 positions and great profits at some point. I never took them, right? I had great Solana ones. I never took them. Why? Because it was this whole HODL type of mentality, okay? Where for me, the moment I just started trading the market over the last couple of weeks and kind of flowing, right? My accounts have grown pretty quickly and performing way better than what my long-term accounts are performing right now, right? So just getting a nicer understanding. However, where we are right now, there is opportunity, right? There's opportunity for another leg. I want to speak about my plays here on Bitcoin. So we're now closing up on Q4, right? We've had an eventful year. We've had pumps, we've had dumps, we've had pumps, we've had dumps, specifically on Bitcoin, right? But the big signs that I'm kind of seeing now is us kind of really losing important trends, right? We've lost this over here, giving me a little bit of idea that we need to start getting ready for a high to be in for the Bitcoin cycle, right? So what tends to happen is we tend to usually get 2 highs in a cycle. The first high was purely focused on Bitcoin. Altcoins ran, but it was mainly focused on BTC, right? Get money into crypto. Because Bitcoin's the biggest altcoin, not altcoin, because Bitcoin's the biggest token and the biggest supply of the market, this brings in billions and billions, if not trillions, into the market, right? Then what happens is you get some sort of dip off, okay? And then you have the altcoins that get released. For me, altcoins are there for exit liquidity. That's just my opinion. I think there's a lot of altcoins in the market that are very good, trying to make difference, but I think alt seasons or alt runs happen to bring millions of people into crypto because Bitcoin doesn't. Bitcoin brings in a lot of people, but altcoins really, your memes, your this, your that, they bring in a ton of people, bring in a ton of liquidity, and it allows early buyers that were accumulating, right, to offload within the market. Okay, so for me, the last 2 cycles we have seen alt seasons, and I think there's a reason for that. And I think we still got to have an open eye that that's still going to happen, right? But you could see here that there are 2 levels here. First one's the Bitcoin pump. Second one is the altcoin pump. Then we go into bear market. I feel that we are here somewhere. I feel there's still this to come. Okay, and then after that, I do feel we go into bad territories, right? I was looking at the stock markets as well. I don't know if 2026 is a great year for stock markets, if I must be honest, right? Here's just the futures over here. And looking at this high time frame, I just look at this chart and I'm like, this is one of the most scary, I wouldn't say manipulated, but it's a scary chart, right? This looks like a damn meme coin or something crazy. And what you don't realize, at some point, there will be a crash. There will be something like this. Now, if you look at the biggest crashes we have seen, right, in the past, that's the size of it. If you look at this, guys, I'm a chartist. When I see a wave like this, one day something like that's going to happen, right? And I'm getting some ideas that this might happen closer to mid-end next year. Let's see, right? It may be this big, it may be that big. Don't be surprised if that big one happens. Okay, so I'm not super happy when it comes to stock markets. And we know if the stock market pulls back 50%, we know what's going to happen to crypto. I just don't think it's yet. I still think there's more upside. There's a blow off top here. Then there's a big pullback incoming, right? So it's just, again, why do I want to just hold altcoins through all of this stuff if I know that the rest of the world's also in a place where a big pullback can happen, right? So let's go back over here now. So my plays, let's go through Bitcoin here first, okay, of what I'm thinking is going to happen. So again, 2 highs. There's going to be 2 scenarios that's going to play out here. So this one, we had the higher high approach, right? This high was higher than this one. After that, we went into bear cycle. The cycle before that, we had a lower high. I just want to show you guys here. Let's go to the cycle before that. Boom. We had Bitcoin go first, altcoins go, and then we dropped off over here, right? So it's either lower high or a higher high incoming. Now, why I think the temporary bottom is going to be in on Bitcoin, because I do think we're going to have altcoins now run, and I do think Bitcoin's going to try reclaim, right? Remember, this is a trend line that we lost, and what fixes this trend line is if we break back into it, right? Nothing is stopping that, because what did it do is it shaked out most of the market, right? So if we look at this over here, RSI is at the bottom. Last time we were at the bottom, we were here, and we did see at least a 50-60% growth within Bitcoin the last time we were here, right? So again, I'm not going to sit here and go full bear. The bearishness has already happened. It's time for me to turn bull, right? And there's two plays. The first one is the lower high. If it's a lower high, Bitcoin goes probably below around the 105 to 110. And then we have that problem over there we were speaking about, the bear drop, right? Then we have what they did to us last cycle is we go higher and then we drop. Both scenarios for me is upwards for the next couple of weeks, a couple of months, right? So what this looks like then on altcoins looks like this. And this is exactly my play as well. So again, RSI is at the bottom, oversold. This was the last time we were here. Before that, we were here, right? You see what comes. And you can also see how fast altcoins wake up when things go their way, right? But this is my play on alts. I do think this wave is going to be smaller than what we anticipated, but I do think there's still an opportunity to firstly offload long term and obviously use this next move to the upside to make some cash. But this is my play here. Okay, I think we're going to go a little bit sideways now, maybe a little bit of growth now over the next week or two. But I think into Q1, we're going to start accelerating quite quickly. Okay, and I see us pushing all the way up in Q1. Okay, and I see us going all the way up to new highs. Okay, I then see a rejection, second high, and Q2 to Q3. This might go on a little bit longer, right? But I'd say around Q3 or so, I am expecting markets to start pushing down. Okay, so what that means for me is this is where the exciting part happens. Okay, and I need to make sure that these moves are big. I don't need to take on too much risk. So you guys know I've been trading my accounts. That just trades in and out. But then now let's speak about the rest, right? So in this area right here, right now, I am building grid bots. And these bots need to withstand at least a 40% drop. So they are very low leverage bots, but I'm launching them here. Why? Because it keeps me in the game. I'm buying and accumulating in a good area. And a bot will not mentally drain you the way physically trading drains you, right? Or physically getting out and all these type of things. So bots for me, I'm launching. The second one is spot trades, full spot. I'm even getting ready to enter some low leverage trades, which is 2Xs. I will put stop losses on these below these lows here. Very important. Okay. Low leverage entries. And then I'm using this piece over here over this next week or two to finish the last end of Q4 2025, passing bid funded challenges, right? Making sure that I have a lot more money than what I got. Remember when it comes to the bid funded challenges, right? There's one step passes now. I pay $99. I pass one step, which means I need to get more than 8% profits without losing 8% profits. If I lose 8% of the count closes. If I gain, I unlock $5,000 to trade with that. I can 5X, which means I can trade at $25,000. Okay, so these packages, whichever one suits, whichever one works with the budget, amazing. But I'm looking to pass as many of these, okay, as possible. So you can see here are my accounts, okay, as possible, so that I have money when this market wakes up. I have way more money than what I got. Okay, so again, bid funded entries. Now let's speak about the next. When this starts to go up, I ain't entering any more into the market other than my trading account, which will be a 2%, 3% of my capital that I'll trade in and out. My bots, I will not enter any more bots. I'll not enter any more spot trades. I'll not enter any more long-term investments. Nothing done. I'm either buying here, okay, or I'm not buying at all for the next couple of months, right? So this is where I'm accumulating. The moment we start getting a spark up again, right, I automatically switch into no more buying. Where am I selling? Where am I going? So here's my game plan, right? My game plan is as we start rushing through close to the high, start pushing through, I will be closing the leverage positions. Banking the money, buy Bitcoin, cheers, right? I will be closing the bots. I will be closing the spot trades. In this rally to the upside, I'm going to start shrinking the amount of exposure that I have in the market. Not getting ready to exit my long term yet. I'm going to exit my long term during Q2, right? Start of Q2. That's where I see the market slowing down. Okay, and that is where I'll be exiting 80% of my altcoin positions. The only ones I'll keep is probably Solana and ETH, just to be a little bit more in the game, so that I don't leave crypto forever. I still have something in there, right? To keep it going, but that is where I am exiting. Okay, so this is all about buying. This is all about exiting. The moment we get the spark off, I am done buying, right? And I truly feel that this is an important lesson for many to learn. We're not going to wait for this market to go bullish to buy again, guys. Have faith now, have belief now, have your understanding now. Make sure that you can survive. Don't do high leverage. Make sure you cannot get liquidated. right? And get blue chips in the market, be patient, okay? And that's it. Here, I've done this for 4 years now, and many people want to kind of buy here, right? Let's not do that, guys. Let's stay motivated and let's do that in these areas over here. And again, why am I so bullish on altcoins? Because I still see a big collapse happening in Bitcoin dominance. This is what I see happening. Okay, I see at any moment now dominance breaking down to the mid 50s. And I see in Q1 to Q2 next year, I see us going down to at least 45 to 52, 53%. Then I think we go into the bear market. So the important thing now is to go through your alts, right? And to start getting ready for some TPs. Right? So look at if I have an AVAX bot now, here's AVAX, okay? When we get to this range over here, I'm exiting the bot. Right? When we get here, I'm exiting the long term, right? And I would say a safe play on a lot of alts that look like this, the middle is very likely where we're going to go. We might go above. Again, we might have that crazy run. That's why I'm going to give Q2 for my long term, because my long term is not leveraged or anything like that. It can withstand a little bit more, right? But set yourself these major targets. And a key tool to use is the RSI. When this RSI starts tapping to the top, it's time to start exiting anything that can get liquidated and do damage, take profits, right? Long-term can sit, all these different things can kind of happen over here. When the monthly, see the monthly, when the monthly gets to the top, that's where my long-term gets out, right? Now, again, this might change a little bit to Q3. Maybe we see a little bit longer, but this is what the preparation is before it all starts to play out. Okay, amazing. Now, let's jump into some short-term. Short-term, just a crappy rejection after FOMC. We had some hype. We dropped up, down. Let's go ahead to Bitcoin. I don't think there's much more pullback coming. I think Bitcoin can go a little bit lower to around 88 or so. Then I do think Bitcoin's going to push up again. Bitcoin's going to want to go capture all that liquidity sitting up over there. So the best thing to do now, okay, I got out of my trades just to show you guys. So I was in and I got out there last night. I went to sleep. We broke this trend. I'm like, I'm out, right? So if we look at my month so far, I lost 5,000 in the first, then I won 45,000, and I made 2,000, lost 2,000, lost 1,000, made 10. Just pay attention to the ratios here. When I lose 5K. When I win 45K, right? When I lose 2K, 1K, 2K, I make 10K. Do you see how much stronger my wins are than my losses, right? You see how much more strength they have. And that's just because I keep fishing in the areas. And the big thing here as well, if you look at this chart here, look how there is money made, and then I take a break. Then there's money made, smack, take a break. Look where you go, make money, take a break. Make money, take a break. See what I do here? It's not just a chart that's just doing this 24/7, right? When I win or lose, I take the damn breaks, reset, get myself back into track and go, right? And this is working really good. So my next play is I'm not in anything right now. What I'll be looking for is it does look like the market's going to take a bit of time to recover. I'm not bullish right now for the day at all, right? If I look at, let's say, example, Solana, where we are now, we basically just lost that. So what I think is going to happen is something like this, and then I think something like this. So to be honest, I'm probably not trading the entire weekend. Next week looks like a really good week to trade. Unless I see something super, super, super clear, which I'll let you guys know by tomorrow when we go live. Let's see what's there. As it stands right now, I always put in the top trend, and you can see we are very far from it. So this is where the market's going to try to take your money short term. Okay, so for me, this chart is going to probably flatline over here for a couple of days, unless I see something super clear. If we get here, I might dip my toes. Right? I'll track it down. I might dip my toes. Other than that, I don't want to give away any more money. Right now, we are in a bendy road. You just got to control the gas and the brakes, and the gas and the brakes, not just gas, right? Very, very, very important. Then, just again, shout out to a couple more of the sponsors. BTC.D, they also got great, incredible deals right now. Remember, we are going to give away a Rolex, right, to anyone that's using the links below. But there's also tons of bonuses, right? You get bonus of up to your first deposit of over $500, right? I think it's 10 or 20% bonuses, okay? There's a lot of opportunities over here, and there's a lot of volume giveaways as well. As you're achieving volume, there's a lot of great things, right? And also a massive shout out to Bybit. You know, I've been trading Bybit on my phone quite a bit at the moment, but also Bybit. I think I've got exciting news. I think Bybit's coming to EU with, yeah, let's see. But I heard there's good things there as well. So big shout out to all sponsors. Guys, these guys are still putting everything in, you know, into a market that's like dead right now, right? We all working hard, we're all grinding hard, and we know what that turns into. Guys, have a fantastic day. Think long term, start planning, start structuring, and do whatever you can to stay involved. Lots of love. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.